Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Simon. We do philosophy through pop culture, and we're using real people's lives to learn about our own. We're watching Love is Blind UK Season 2. This is the continuation of Episode 6. Let's see what happens.
Wedding, venue, all that stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
I feel excited. I feel a little bit of nerves, but it's like butterflies. It's like, okay. Like, you just know.
Yeah, like this is happening.
Yeah. I still feel like there's maybe a few things that we kind of need to improve to feel more confident about that day.
Yeah, I do want to get a chance to speak to him and, well, reach out to him and see if he wants to.
Okay, so they're having dinner. Javen is saying we still need to work some things out. I'm feeling butterflies, but excited. They're basically moving forward with the wedding venue and all of that stuff. And they are opening the door for Damala to talk to her, which I feel is a little weird. It's definitely been done in the past. I guess we'll see what happens with that. It just feels weird that they would need that closure. But I guess, I don't know.
If he doesn't want to meet, like, I completely understand, but I'm going to put it out there so we can have a conversation and just lay it to rest.
Okay, she's saying it's taking a lot of her brain space to think about it. And even though Damala might say no to a conversation, she just wants to try to talk to him. If he says yes, great. If he says no, great. But it's interesting that it's bothering her. I don't get what's bothering her.
I think you should definitely have that conversation.
Thank you. I'm grateful for your support as well.
Yeah, I'm interested in his support as well. Is that a testament to his character? I guess so. I guess he's not insecure about anything, which is important. I think he's been pretty consistent in that regard. But also, it's interesting that he wants it to happen. I guess it makes sense. You don't want to get married thinking about another person, right?
How would you feel if I, like, messaged him now?
Go ahead.
I guess there's no wrong time to message. But yeah, Javen doesn't feel like really insecure about it at all. Good, right? And then maybe he can help her write the message or something.
Cool.
Interesting. I mean, I do like that they don't hide anything. I do like that he's comfortable seeing it happen. I do like that she's willing to do it in front of him. A lot of couples can be very insecure about those things, very like accusatory, like, oh, you're texting another man. But they're doing it all in front of each other. I think that's a good sign.
No more Damola chat. It's boring.
It is.
It's boring.
Boring. Okay, maybe I don't know what that word means in this context for them. Maybe a little bit of insecurity.
Thank you.
Don't mind if I do.
Ooh, look at those goodies on the table. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Sarover and Cal meeting the families.
Oh,
Stranger.
I've missed you. You well?
I'm good, yeah.
This is Sarova.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
Sarova. Lovely to meet you.
Okay, so Cal's mom and grandma, a bunch of goodies on that table, girl. Nom, 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 nom. I'm sure none of them are vegan, but nom, 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 nom. Okay, very exciting to see what happens.
Don't know where to begin, to be honest. The concept is, can you fall in love with someone without seeing them? One thing quite important I need to tell you is that me and Sarova are now engaged.
Yes.
Engaged. Oh, that's beautiful, that round text.
Okay, they seem chill. His mom looks great. She looks pretty young, but she looks beautiful, obviously. The energy seems good right now. I'm curious if she'll get a chance to meet his dad. His dad, I think, is in Dubai, so I don't know if that's going to be an option.
Talking to Cal was lovely. Honestly, the way he was talking about things, listening to me, I felt so sort of heard and seen. And he was literally behind a wall the whole time.
Could you really judge what sort of person you were speaking to?
That's the thing. You're talking about things that you would never know and talk about. I've literally spoken about things I've never spoken about with a girl before. So accelerated and so concentrated.
Like, what about living in that? Would you have joined this end or up the posh end?
Okay. So she just said, and I'm not in the bubble, so please, if you're in the bubble, let me know the deets. She said, if you guys get married and have kids, you're going to be on this end or the posh end. So Sarover's family is, I think, on the posher side of things, right? She's wealthier, and his family is not as wealthy. And so it sounds like there's a class difference as well at play here. Is that what I'm hearing?
Like split living company, would do some time up here.
Yeah.
I'm close to my family, some time down there, close to her family, and you seem happy with that, didn't you?
Yeah, and I'm so used to travelling as well, like mum being in Loughborough, I've got family in Scotland, family in Yorkshire, so I'm so used to that. And we actually thought about maybe living towards me. And it's obviously a conversation I think it's important to have you guys a part of as well.
Yeah. You read about people who meet instantly and they have a lifelong relationship.
Yeah, it can happen, can it?
It can happen, and it looks as though it's happening with you.
Yeah, I really do think it can happen. I think you can, meet somebody and have them be a high compatibility partner. I think you can even be arranged married to somebody who ends up being a high compatibility partner. The question is, are you that person, right? Are they the person that meets each other after 2 weeks and gets married and it works? I mean, I guess you could say now that I'm married and I do think to the love of my life and I do think to my high compatibility partner. I mean, the joke in our marriage is like, when did you know? And it's like, I knew the moment, or I knew 2 weeks, or I knew right away. It's like logically, did we know? But I think we knew right away that it was something significant. We just didn't know what it was. And then I think after a while, it just became really clear. I mean, obviously within 2 weeks or whatever it was, a few weeks of talking, I was already talking to my family. We were already talking about flying out to meet each other. We were already like serious. I do think sometimes when it's really the right person out of, I think there's millions of people that are compatible with you, but when you meet one of those million, it's just really easy and it makes a lot of sense. And it just, it works, and it's not built off the fantasy of the honeymoon phase. I think a lot of people mistake the honeymoon phase for real compatibility. But if you really understand the difference between those two things, you can, enjoy the honeymoon phase, but still be very realistic about the compatibility. I think that takes knowing yourself, though. You have to be really introspective. You have to know your values, your morals, your ethics, and really know what to talk about when you're first dating to really get down to it, which is why I said for these girls, you got to ask those questions that you don't think of. You got to ask these questions, even, regardless of your gender or who you are in the relationship, just the questions people don't think of. Like, if you have this kind of a child, or this kind of thing happens, or do you listen to this person on the internet, or are you a fan of this person? Things that you think might not matter, but tell you a lot about a person.
You think we're a nice match, or?
I think, yeah,
I think we're sweet, don't we?
you do look like a couple.
Power couple.
Blending like a couple.
Oh, yeah, the power couple.
Yeah.
I think they do make a really good couple too. Yeah, they're one of my yeses.
Carl's never really expressed wanting to get married.
Oh.
But I think they used to say the right way, wrong way to meet. If you
Oh, she said Cal's never really expressed the desire to be married. Ooh, interesting that he'd go on this show, but maybe he doesn't talk to his family like that. Maybe they don't know that about him. P.S. I love this little garden. Oh my God, cute garden.
making your connection with somebody, then I think you have to go with it, and sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith.
So many firsts together, and another one of our firsts is me meeting his family, because I've never met a partner's family before. It felt lovely.
Aw, how sweet that this is her first family that she's meeting. Oh, looks like she's meeting Damala.
Hi.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I see.
I assume this is the first time they've really seen each other in person, though I'm sure he's checked out her socials. So interesting. Also, I love his fit.
It's weird because obviously.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Very, I'm just trying to get it all in, but no, you look beautiful, so.
Thank you. Were you surprised to hear from me at all?
A little bit, obviously, after how everything happened.
Kind of make sure that you're okay.
Looking at them now, they are a bit anxious in a similar way. I wonder if they're like a mirror of each other in a sense. He's obviously a little bit more confident than her and self-reassured, but also like they have anxiety. But then that's why I thought they matched better together, because they were more like neurodivergently weird, like more like not normie. Like Javen's a football player or a sport guy or whatever he did. He's like the jock, and he's like the guy who writes poetry to the girl. So, and she's not the cheerleader. Right? She's the girl who was in band. So like, it feels like that's why I thought they'd paired up more, but maybe she doesn't need more of her own kind. Maybe she wants somebody different. I don't know.
Obviously, when it happened, it was a surprise, right? Because obviously I've walked in there thinking, oh yeah, this is the moment. This is kind of who I saw as potentially being my future wife. Oh, I just felt a little bit blindsided when it all happened.
Oh, I know. It blindsided me as well. I had a connection with two people. Do you know what I mean? You both spoke to different sides of me.
Yeah.
I was teetering until probably the very, very end. When I had my next date with Javen, I was like, oh my God. It was kind of like a 360, 180.
Did you genuinely think that you could see a future or anything with me?
Yeah, like this is why it was so hard, because it felt like you were at a really good spot.
You were it seemed like you were in a good spot, but I wasn't quite there. Like, like Damala was confident in his decision, but she wasn't there with him, so she chose Javen. Okay, interesting. There's something here. Okay, processing. Yeah, I think she obviously was interested in him, but again, because of her personality, I'm kind of convinced she would have been, into most people who were put in front of her. I don't know.
The connection was just stronger with him.
I'm gonna say this in a way that I don't know if it's accurate, but this is the feeling I'm getting. It feels like she didn't want to end up with Ron Weasley and chose Harry Potter, but she obviously was better suited for Ron Weasley. Or maybe she wanted Edward, but she was obviously better suited for Jacob. It feels like she is fulfilling like dating the guy she never thought she could get in high school. So she chose the football player versus the guy who writes poetry. She said the football player is more her type, but is it, girl? I don't know. She just seems way too nerdy to attract the typical jockey kind of guys. And then my brain can't figure out if she just chases guys that are unavailable or that are like more traditional. Like, I feel like the girl to end up with Javen was going to be more, more like cheerleader pretty than nerd pretty. And I don't know, as an autistic girly myself, who's obviously like nerd pretty, there is just like an expectation of who we're most compatible with, because it also reflects a lifestyle. Like at the end of the day, like I was never going to end up with a football player. We don't even live on the same planet. We're not even interested in the same things. All these like typically handsome guys that claim to be nerdy, like they're never nerdy enough. Like they're rarely nerdy enough. And a big part of this, you know, plays into like free will. And if we even have it in the first place, like, did I even have an option not to be this nerdy autistic girly? Did I even have an option to be something else? Who's to say? Really, like, who's really to say in the universe? But there's something here that I don't know, it makes me think about like, what are the real chances that she ever would have ended up with a sports guy anywhere else? So did she take this as her opportunity to finally fulfill that fantasy? I don't know. It reminds me of which season of Love is Blind had Nikki D, and I can't remember her name, but she said she was like a cheerleader and people think she's really pretty, but she didn't look the way that we thought she was going to look. And yet they both were kind of like the same level of attractive, but she played it up like she was super, super hot. She was pretty, but she's not that stereotypical hot. You know what I mean? Like the way she made it sound. And he made it, Nikki D was like, I'm a football player, but like he ended up being like some nerdy skinny kid. He didn't even look like a football player. Like both of them were playing to a fantasy of an expectation of what they should look like. I'm the football player, I'm the cheerleader, but neither of them look like that stereotype of that thing. And this is really a reductive stereotyping or like a trope of a person, but at the same time I do think like people technically always end up being in similar categories, like you match in a sense. I don't know, there's something here. There's something.
I mean, it's been challenging throughout, but like, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad, like, as I said, as long as you're happy and you see yourself going all the way, then like, I'll be one of your cheerleaders there, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Right? She made a decision, he made a decision, it is what it is. And I'm glad they validated each other's hurt and pain and confusion, because it's really difficult, this whole experiment. I mean, I could never do it, right?
Good guys finish last, that's the same.
Oh,
No, don't do that.
Yeah, I think if you think you're a good guy who finishes last, you're probably not a good guy though. I think if you buy into that narrative that like you never get the girl and the jock always gets the girl, then you're probably not that good of a guy. Because at the end of the day, like your high compatibility partner, they're going to be with you and they're not going to be with somebody else. So if somebody else is with somebody else, they were not yours. Like you don't own people, right? So I don't know about that. I don't know. But that was the worst thing I've seen come out of his character, was that idea, because then that puts him in the category of the guy who's like, I wrote poetry and I care about women and women never choose me or care about me. And I hope that's not what category of guy he's in. But that one line made it sound like he was. Like the guy who's like, I'm just a good guy. I'm one of the good guys. Are you one of the good ones? I don't know about that.
It's amazing to hear Demla say that if I'm happy, he's happy, because I potentially have been holding back a little bit based off of that. Like, how can you build a relationship if people are still talking about your past?
So could she not let go of this situation because Cal brought it up? Oh, because I was wondering, why does she need to talk to Damala? Maybe it was because Cal said something to her and then it made her think about it, but she wasn't thinking about it prior to that. So now she feels like this is the closure she needed to move on.
I've kind of got an idea of her thought process. It was just good to close that chapter maybe. I just got to dust myself off and just focus on myself. And hopefully I will be able to love someone the way I want to in the future.
Beautiful. Okay, great.
We're good, we're good.
What do we know? What's the catch up on?
Oh, this is Cal's brother. He's got a brother.
Brother to brother. Would you actually marry her? Go all the way? Because I don't think you would, me, to be fair.
He says, because I don't think you want me to be fair. Hold on, let me go back. Because I don't think you would, to be fair. Oh, he's asking Cal if he's going to go all the way and say yes to marriage. And the brother is saying, I don't think you will. Ooh, and the mother also said Cal's never talked about getting married. Uh-oh. I just said gym guy who has connections to Dubai never wanted to get married. Ooh, Cal, you better not be a secretly bad guy. Okay, you better not be secretly a bad guy, Cal.
I wouldn't have gone this far if I didn't think I could. I would have pulled the plug.
How do you feel about Cal getting married?
It's not a bit fast, but not sunk in. I think if you do get married, well, I say I do as well. So
whatever he wants, we'll back him with everything.
All the time I've known you, I've never seen you like me. Ever really like, oh yeah, I'm all in here.
Yeah. She's such a genuine, thoughtful person. She's always thinking of things she can do for me.
I like that, yeah. Do you think you could put her fully first? I think she could put you first, but I think you'd struggle with that aspect.
Yeah.
Ooh, he said, I think you're going to struggle putting her first. Ooh, I appreciate the bluntness from this brother.
Because I think for a relationship to work, each other's person has to be number one in their lives, and then you're both treating each other as a number one.
True. My partner, but not at the expense of myself. Myself, not at the expense of my partner. Our marriage, not at the expense of ourselves. Ourselves, not at the expense of our marriage. I think of my partner the same way I think about myself. I'm just as important as they are important. They are just as important as I am important. Like, we are on the same level. Versus everyone else, I don't put family first. I don't put my job first. I don't put anything first above my well-being and my sense of self. And then same with my partner. Like, we're not, I think that's the thing that people have to understand. Everyone does marriage differently. A lot of people are settling out here, but I really recommend you choose your high compatibility partner, someone who's going to put you at the same level they put themselves, and you are not in competition with one another. So it's not like your partner is in any way getting in your way. Your partner is someone you build the future with. You're a team, right? Like, I don't do life with my family and friends, but I'm doing life with this person the same way I'm doing life with myself. When I was single, I didn't do life with my family and friends. I was doing life with myself, and they were a part of it, right?
I probably not even thought of that until now. I very much put myself first in most of my life. I feel like I can put her over first. It's one thing saying it, but now I've got to be able to do it into practice.
So his brother brought up putting Star over first, and he said, I never really thought about that until now. So good thing he had a brother to remind him.
You've had a lot of girls, but never that many long-term relationships. He's not your usual type either, is she?
No, but I've said that to her. I've done the opposite. Usually I've gone for physical attraction first, like most people do. I've only been forced to only go for the emotional connection first, the personality. And I think because of that, it feels like it's got a bit more staying power.
I think the relationship's going to last. My life was on it. I don't know. You know what?
Oh, man. Whew. He said if my life depended on it, I wouldn't say this relationship will last. Oh, damn. He said, I know what Kel's like. He's difficult to please.
He very much loves his own space and very routine. And if anything breaks that routine, i.e. a relationship or a girl, which they do, because it very much just transforms your life and the way you live, can adversely affect him, and he'll just be like, I don't want to be a part of this.
He said he had a lot of relationships, but never a long-term relationship. Yeah, I could get it. Yeah. I guess we'll see.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay.
Decent for you, my darling.
Oh, thank you very much.
And then for you.
Thank you very much.
How are you both? You okay?
Good, thank you.
I heard a lot about you. I've heard that you've been very supportive.
Barda's parents. Cuties.
Been lovely getting to know.
Me too, I'm very excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
You want me to take her? Her ambition, she works very hard. Great cook. She's made good meals.
What do you like about me?
Everything. Having a woman who can take care of herself, really, and who's so independent. Feisty. Small, but feisty.
Yeah. I always knew my parents were just going to be chilled and welcoming and accepting, but just seeing both of their little faces just light up and be so happy and excited, honestly, it's just so nice.
It'd be obviously very nice for me to get your blessing
thank you.
of your daughter's hand in marriage,
And what did you say?
Yes, of course.
Take her.
Cute. They're so cute. The energy's cute. Everybody's really warm and supportive, and I really hope they're good to each other. I don't know why I'm so connected to this couple. It really does work Love is Blind sometimes. There have been some successful couples that have come out of this show. And I just wonder who's that next couple?
Good chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Yeah, it went well. It was a wee bit awkward in the beginning, but yeah, it was fine.
I'm assuming he was confused.
Yeah, he said that he felt like he was blindsided.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can completely understand that.
Did you apologise?
No, I don't mean I said the words, I'm sorry. It was just kind of a breakdown of how I came to my decision, and so he can kind of finalize it in his mind.
He said, did you apologize? And she said, no, I didn't say I'm sorry, which is interesting because I do think she should have apologized. I think it would have been a nice gesture to say it because she did lead him on. And I think that warrants an apology. But I wonder if it's hard for her to see it that way because she genuinely didn't think she was leading him on. Which is what's so interesting about human dynamics. I can't tell you how many people I know who lead people on because they don't know themselves. And because they don't know themselves, they can't see it as something that's predatory or intentional. So they don't think it warrants an apology. But I think an apology would have been nice, and appropriate. Being a little bit more humble about it would have been good. Interesting that Javin brought that up. I think that's interesting. And then here he's saying, more importantly, how do you feel? So let's see there.
Importantly, how do you feel?
I feel good.
Feel like you got a weight off your chest?
Oh my God, yeah. I'm so glad that I did it, honestly.
I'm going to be honest, I still don't think she's secure enough. I think he has every reason to be insecure about this union. I think he has every reason to break up with her. I think she is just not convincing at all as a person. I do not believe her. If she told me what her favorite food is, I wouldn't believe her. She's just not giving me the confidence that I can trust her own opinion about something as simple as her favorite food. I'm sorry. This conversation alone makes me feel very unsure.
This is going to be good for us, good for the relationship, good for moving forward. Obviously, you know how I felt about people talking and the outside noise and everything like that. And now I can
not think about it and not think that I'm being a bad person.
Yeah, she said, now I don't have to think about what people are saying about me, and I don't have to think about being a bad person. She doesn't have to be a bad person for her to be the wrong person. She doesn't have to be a bad person for her to be inappropriate. She doesn't have to be a bad person to have to apologize. Good people also have to apologize for things they do. Yeah, I just don't trust her to know herself. And I don't like how defensive she is in this moment.
I am proud of Katisha for being brave enough to go meet him face to face and express herself. And I think that it's only going to benefit us as a couple. So
she also talks in a way where it always feels like she's hiding something. But I don't think she's, again, hiding it to be malicious. I think she's so insecure she can't be honest. But then it sounds like to everyone hearing it that she's not being forthcoming because she's omitting details. So even in the way this edit goes, and I know it's an edit, so they could be cutting out her sentences, it just feels like she's still hiding something.
Let's just move on.
I can see why people are friends with him. I think he's a good guy.
I mean, it's okay if you want to change your mind.
Oh. Okay, they said let's just move on. Let's move on from this. So it sounds like they're both on the same page. I still think they're going to say no at the altar.
So I cooked Jed's home-cooked meal. Now it's the real test.
Oh my god.
Are you lost for words, though?
Maya feels like a good.
Love cheese. Should we get a bit of brie?
For me, it is a treat, but I would tend to stay away from it because it is high in fat and quite calorific as well.
What was it like shopping with your ex?
We were very individualised, where I would buy my bits and she would buy hers, because I am a snacker, and if it's there, I will eat it. I eat a certain way when it comes to my diet. I have to practice what I preach. I can't be telling soldiers to eat and train a certain way when I'm not doing it myself.
Oh, this is such an interesting conversation because my partner and I eat completely different diets. Like, I'm plant-based, my partner isn't. We also, even when we both ate not plant-based, like we were eating different things. We're also neurodivergent, so we both tend to eat the same thing for months on end. Like, I have been eating basically like the same, like one of my meals, I have two main meals I do a day, and one of my main meals a day has been the same thing for like 3-4 months. I don't even remember. And that's very normal for me. Like, I do not want to change. That's the flavor I expect. That's the food I expect. That's the texture I expect. You know, that's just how I've been my whole life. Call it the autism, call it something else. But I can understand the difficulty of not eating the same thing or not eating together being a problem. This again moves into high compatibility. Is this something they can make work together? Because he said, according to his job, he can't tell, soldiers to stay in shape, and he's not in shape. And then she made a joke that like, "Ooh, maybe your diet will be ruined with me." But like, he can't take that risk. Unlike a Jed and a Barda, where they're eating together, they're kind of like enjoying food together. They can probably gain a few pounds together, and it's okay. I don't think that same option exists for Billy. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely an important conversation to have with your partners. I think for my relationship, more important than we eat the same thing, it's important that we share a meal together. And it doesn't have to be every meal. It has to just be like, maybe we usually have dinner together as an example. That's like really fun for us. But otherwise, like, we don't even share the same meals all day. And we're in the same house all day together. It's just with my work schedule and their schedule, and we're not always doing the same things at the same time. Yeah, it just depends on how you want to have your relationship. It really is. I think one of the ways that I think about my relationship is I want to do what I want to do every day, and I want my partner to be able to do what they want to do every day. And I want us to feel like we're a team, but I also don't want us to feel like we're not independent people. So it's a balance between we are both independent people who are individuals, and we do life together. And so that's just going to show up uniquely in our relationship the same way it should show up in yours.
More veg.
More veg.
Yum, yum, yum. We needed some onions, didn't we?
We don't need onions though. What for?
Oh.
On a weekly shop, I keep it quite simple and healthy, of just maybe some sort of lean meat, like mince or something, broccoli, and then I have rice as well.
Oh, so he doesn't eat onions. He's definitely on that like gym diet. I have the same thing every day. Yeah. This would be fine for me, again, because same, but like also this could be very hard for other people to process.
Yeah, with my job it's hard because I'm kind of not in a routine ever.
You haven't made a cook for you when you get back.
Well, that's what I'd love. Oh my God, if you're going to cook for me. But please don't cook for me broccoli, rice,
do you not
and
want rice,
mince.
broccoli and mince? No.
I couldn't live off rice and mince and broccoli the whole time.
They're going to have to work on this. You can work through this. You're just going to have to rethink about your life. This even relates to like sleeping in the same bed or sleeping at the same time, because her job ruins her chance of a routine. His job is very routine based. My partner and I don't always sleep in the same bed or sleep at the same time, but that is normal for us because our parents are very similar. We're like, my dad and my mom haven't slept in the same bed in like 30 years because my dad really likes the couch. It's like every family is different. Every relationship is different. I don't think it's just you have to make it work for you. And that's kind of the point. So, I had a feeling they weren't going to make it. I'm telling you, this could be a big deal breaker.
I don't want to completely change my diet to be super lean to fit all the needs of him because that doesn't suit me.
Don't. Just eat different things. You don't have to eat the same thing your partner's eating.
Now, this is where I will be shopping, what I would love to buy. For me, this is heaven.
Buy it, girl. Enjoy your cakes and pies, girl. Enjoy it.
So one of those slices is about 600 calories.
Sorry, but I really don't care.
600 calories of pure sugar.
I guess the issue is that he said if the snacks are in the house, he will eat it. So, yeah, just her food is her food and his food is his food, just like he had with his other partnership, and that could work. Yeah. Cause we also buy our own snacks. We have our own snacks. Because we eat different things, even snacks are different. Like our taste buds are just so different, my partner and I just feel like that's okay. Like it's not that big of a deal unless you're really weird about like, we have to like the same things. But then why would you like the same things if you're totally different?
The first time we've really had a large difference in opinion, and I felt like I was justifying a lot of my reasonings why I wouldn't necessarily always go for what she would choose. We're both very independent people, and I think when we come together, we are going to clash at times. I'm not going to stop eating clean.
It's honestly making me feel quite anxious. I don't know why I'm actually getting a bit emotional.
Yeah, this is such a big deal for people where like a lot of people hate when gym bros go to weddings and they stay on their regimen. I'm going to be real. I do not care. It's like being vegan. What, are you going to tell a vegan not to go vegan because it's a wedding? Like, I don't get it. I think people are just weird about food. And the truth is like, you don't get to dictate what people put in their body. And as long as they're happy and healthy and it's like for a reason, I don't think it's a big deal to take your food. Like, even when you're chronically ill, like I eat different things than other people. You know what I mean? So like, I have to bring my own food to things sometimes because like people can't necessarily serve what I can eat. So, but I still want to go to the event. It's like, we're overthinking this. It's not that big of a deal. Just do what works for you and everybody be cool about it.
Like I do feel like something's on my chest now. Is he able to compromise?
Well, no, he's not going to compromise with this girl. Guys, we compromise on who does the dishes. We do not compromise on things like this. This is a big deal. This is a values difference, but I don't see, again, what is the construct that is forcing her to need him to eat like her, right? Because he doesn't need her to eat like him. He already said his past partner and him ate different things. This has happened before. This has been shown in other couples on Ultimatum. I think Ultimatum. There was JR ate very particularly for his diet. He was a fitness instructor. It's not that big of a deal. Just eat different things.
On a weekly shop, I wouldn't buy it.
You will see a few sweet treats in the basket.
We won't just have it in the cupboards for the sake of it.
Sorry, babe, I will be having it in the cupboards for the sake of it.
Never.
Oh, I don't know why he said we won't just have it in the cupboard for the sake of it. And she said we will. And he said no, never. Well, I don't understand the point of that. Is he afraid he's going to eat the cake if it's in the cupboard? Because that's like maybe a problem there. Like he's so disciplined, but if a cake's in a cupboard, he'll eat it. I mean, I get it. If they were my snacks and they were in the house, I'd eat them. But I never think to eat my partner's snacks. Like, even if I want them, I'll just say like, hey, can I have some of your snacks? And obviously my partner says yes. We never say no. But out of courtesy, you would ask. Because maybe you plan to have that dessert or you have one left or the store's closed, you can't get more. Or, out of courtesy. But is he saying that he'd eat the sweets? I don't know what he's saying. But this is a very interesting conversation, and I would very much like to hear what you guys think down below. Okay, so they're leaving us there. That's the end of that episode. Well, I would definitely love to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and send this to somebody else watching the show so we can hear their opinion as well. And I will see you guys for the next one. Bye-bye.